want to talk to you about the face protection I'm currently using. So first I'll just introduce all of the products, and then I'll go more into detail about each of the products that I own from the product I'll talk to you about, which is in the title, so you already know. So basically, the brand is NB Tactical, and they offer, I got 2 out of 3, so basically they made a third version, but it is pretty similar to one of the 2 I own, so that's nice. So these are what's called the inserts. Obviously those alone won't work, so they also supply, well, you have to buy it, of course. You have to buy this and this, either a neck gaiter or a balaclava. Well, you'll see when I open the bags, but so this is the only version available of this model. So this is the Venom V3. As you can see, it will only protect your mouth and nothing else. This is the Fortis V2, and obviously, as you can tell, it will also protect your nose. Then there's the LP, which logically will stand for low profile, and basically the alteration is here. As you can see, the maybe if I show it like this, the width of this part is quite pronounced, so it will not it will limit the goggles you can work with. So what they did is they altered this part, making it more narrow so that it will fit with a bigger variety of goggles. It will fit perfectly with their own brand of goggles, so I'm not sure how the improvement will be, but it is, you can notice the difference, so it will help towards opening up compatibility with goggles, because this model, the Fortis V2, out of all the goggles I have, none of them work with the pronounced nose part here. So to be safe, it might be worthwhile going to glasses. If you plan on buying these, or you have one and you want to pair up with a good pair of eye protection, then my suggestion would be to be safe, to go towards glasses. Nonetheless, also for the fogging. But so that's basically the LP, which obviously isn't here, but that's just an altered version of this one, where the nose part and maybe some of the curve has been altered, but that's pretty much it. So there isn't really a point in having it also here. So outside of that, what you see is what you get. So it's always in black with the rubber surrounds for either. So there's no, you can't get any different version. This is the only version available. As for the retention devices, because obviously this on its own won't stay in its place, you need something to hold it in its place. So as I said, you can either get a neck gaiter or a balaclava. Now there are 3 colors. We will look at the neck gaiter first. There are 3 available colors. This is one of them, obviously, which is the tan version. There's also black, and now Ranger green. Now, to give you an idea of Ranger green, so this is the balaclava, and this is the color Ranger green. Now the only one that's missing is black, which I do have, but I don't have it on me at the moment. But yeah, black is easier to imagine than these sort of tan, because you have quite a few variations of tan and quite a few variations of Ranger Green. But here you can see a bit, because Ranger Green is very hard to imagine sometimes what it will look like. But here you can have an idea of what it will look like. So in as to will it match my gear? So they do say that you can use these inserts with other neck gaiters and balaclavas, but to get the best experience, they do recommend to buy their own models, mainly for the retention, but also for the breathability. It will be more clearer when I put it on more, so this is the mouth part, as you can see, meshed, as you would call it. And then let me just check. So this is the part that goes over your ears, which you will see if I manage to put it on correctly. So for the neck gaiter, you basically have ventilation on your mouth and on your ears, and that's it. For the balaclava, it is similar, but with one added ventilation part. So there's for the mouth, the ears, and also the top of your head. So that's where the ventilation is on the balaclava. Let's just go over the material finish. So as you can see, there is not much flaws or any, if any, in the manufacturing process. So it's nicely coated. It's a sort of steel, but they don't specify which. So it just says steel. I tried finding out which one, and I can't find out. So if someone knows, please do tell me. And as you can see, it has a nice rubber surround, mostly also for the sharp edges, but I also think it helps with the retention. So you do get the impression that you have a nice product in your hands, because first impressions is important. It is, even though it feels rigid, it is very flexible. So it is pliable, as you would call it, which leads to a few things. So basically, when you get it out of the package, it will not fit quite well. So the idea behind it is that you use it 1 or 2 or even 3 games to help it form to your face, because everyone has a slightly different features everywhere on their face. So that's why if you wear it for the first time, you don't really have to panic that it doesn't really fit or work well. Not work well, but like fit and feel nice. So you do have to give it a chance to mold to your face, which leads to 2 concerns. Don't lend it out, because obviously someone will have, as I just said, different face features, so it will deform and then it won't fit as well for you. So these are not the type of face protection that you lend out to people. The second one is keep it in a sort of container so it doesn't deform when you transport it or you put it in your bag or whatever, and when you're not wearing it, because then you will deform and basically undo all of the work you did trying to get it molded to your face. Obviously, outside of just wearing it and letting it mold, you can always tweak it a little bit here and there to get it to fit more perfectly. So again, if you forgot, this is the Venom V3 and can be worn with either the balaclava or the neck gaiter. That's your choice. Completely up to you. Both, as I've said, are available in the 3 colors. This is the Fortis V2. Again, as you can see, nicely made. Just like molding lines here, but nothing in particular. And maybe a bit of coating off here, but that's manufacturing. That can always happen. The only thing that's an issue with mine, and I haven't used it yet, is the foam rubber insert here, memory foam. There's a tear here, and the part where it's glued onto the frame is a bit loose. I rather mention this than just gloss over it like it doesn't exist, which is a bit unfair. So might be a misproduction. You can always be unlucky, so I don't really want to downvote it as bad products manufacturing. So something can always go wrong. Speaking of the memory foam, as I just said, basically it will form to the build of your nose and help with the sitting of the mask on your face. So again, it takes a few tries, gameplays, for it to perfectly form to your nose contours. Now the issue for me is that I have quite a big nose, so it does pinch on my nose a bit. Now you can, as I said, tweak it a little bit, but even with that, it still pinches on my nose quite a lot and gives this nasal effect. So it's a bit of a personal issue. It's not anything to do with bad product manufacturing. So that was it. Available products. Yeah. So this one can also be worn with the balaclava, obviously, but also with the neck gaiter. The only thing is that this part will stick out, the nose part. But if you're not bothered by that, then you can use either. So now hopefully let's try and put these on correctly. So this one, here is an ear part. So more or less like this. You can see how it's, where is it? It's very close, but you can see how it situates over the ears. So it takes a bit of practice to get it seated right, but this is the point of the neck gaiter, to be worn like this. And then you can take the Venom and you just takes a bit of, for me this keeps sliding down because my head, the back of my head is so smooth. But you can see how it takes a bit of adjusting, but the retention is there. And I can talk. But for me, it starts to slide here if I move my mouth a bit too much. But maybe that's not the point. You shouldn't talk, I don't know. So I just like to put it out there. So when I've used this one and it was hot and it was inside and the mask started to slide down, the Venom one. So for me, I don't think this one is an option, but I had to try it. But you can see how it works. So if you don't move your mouth like absurdly like this, you can see how it's now moved. But if you talk normally, then you can see it stays on pretty well. But now I'll try the Fortis. So you can see you can wear it, it will stay on, but this one's not really molded, so it's not been used yet, so it will take some time adhering to my face, and also with the memory foam part, as I told you. So now you can see it works perfectly with either. So that was the neck gaiter. Now I'll show you the balaclava. Oh, there's an ear of foul here, pretty much on the spot. Now I'll just put on the balaclava on its own, a bit like this, maybe some more adjusting on the top. So now you can clearly see again the ear ventilation, the mouth ventilation, and the ventilation on top. So again, putting in the Venom. So here we have it with the Venom. So apart from that, there's not much difference in movement with the neck gaiter and the Fortis. This one I'm having a difficulty not getting it to pinch my eyes. So this is maybe something I'm doing wrong, but with the balaclava, I'm having the issue that it keeps that this part keeps going into my eyes. But you can always wear it like this if you want to. They do specify that. So maybe when the memory foam is a bit better and you obviously are wearing your glasses or goggles, then this is not really an issue, but I do want to mention it. So with me, there's this issue and then the pinching on the nose. Do keep in mind that I've not fielded this one yet. But as you can tell, the quality, which we didn't go over yet, if we place it here, you can see the stitch lines are very clean. There's no thread afoul or any crooked or bad stitching. It's even double stitched here. So, and here, is that double stitched? No, it's single, but it's folded over as stitching to make sure this edge doesn't. The same with this one. There's no product foulement. There's double stitching where it is possible. So there's nothing to comment on the quality of the product. For me, it's just, as you saw with the Fortis, a bit of on the fence if I will keep using it or not. So for me, it's not a bad product at all. So I don't want to go out on a limb and say it's a bad product and you shouldn't buy it. Absolutely not. You can see its quality. You can see there's been thought put into it, research, the way the retention works, the way it's made. So on that, it's a very good product, but obviously it will not work for everyone. And for me, there's the I'm very sensitive on my skin, very sensitive on pressure on my face. So for me, I'm a bit on the fence about it, whether or not I'll keep using it. For now, I can't seem to get it to work with my helmet. That might be because I'm doing something wrong. I'm not sure yet. So I can't really specify on that. But I do want to say it for like people who are sensitive on their face about pressure, then there's always other options to look at, because obviously it isn't that cheap. So for the let me just think. I'll specify the exact prices. So what I'm giving now is a bit of a rough estimate. Or I'll just grab my iPad quickly. Let's see. So I can give accurate pricing, which is always better. Yep. Here we go. And be tactical. I'll put a link in the video as well, obviously. Shop, balaclava, let's look at those first. So momentarily, balaclavas will cost you around 25, it's 24.90, but that's actually 25 euros. They're normally 30 euros. The neck gaiters, let's look. They are also 25, and when they're not down priced, they're 29. And then for the Fortis, the ghost masks, for the Venom, you'll be paying 40. And for the Fortis V2, 45. You can get them with cases, so with a protection case to, as I said, so it doesn't, sensitive side, so it doesn't deform. And as I told you, here is a Fortis LP, low profile, and you can see the difference between the Fortis V2 and the Fortis LP, especially around the nose part. He does have other stuff, but that's something you'll have to look into yourself if you don't mind. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So for me, I like it. So I'm a bit frustrated. I can't seem to make it work. Not because it costs that price, that doesn't bother me. Just because I really like the idea behind it and the product and the whole setup. So thankfully, I also have for my Airsoft, I have a setup with just glasses and a cap and ear defenders. So that will allow me to use at least the Venom and hopefully the Fortis. And maybe I can figure out an adjustment for when I'm using my helmet. So it's not that I'm desperately trying to make it work. I just really like the product itself. So that's why I can't really give too much comment on it, because I've only used this one once, and this one not at all. That's a coffee maker. coffee maker. So at least it gives you an idea of what it looks like, how it's worn, what the idea is behind it, and hopefully I'll be able to give you a long-term experience if it improves or it stays cumbersome even after wearing it a while. So but maybe if you're on the fence about it, maybe this can at least give you some more information. But the trouble with these is that you have to buy them to try them, because as I told you, you can't ask someone, let me put it on and see what it's like, because then you'll deform it for them. So it's a bit of a risk, but what I do like about these also is that you can tell that this won't allow a BB to pass. I've seen them tested. I've got quite a few people I know that use them. You can tell it's quality, as I said, so it's really important to protect your teeth, and even more importantly, to protect your eyes. Face protection is really, really underrated as importance. People barely want to wear eye protection, and if they do, they usually buy the cheapest one they can find, which is a really, really bad idea. Because if you're blind, you're blind, and some people don't seem to understand the risk behind it, because you only get your eyes once and then it's done, which is the same for your teeth. You can only have these once. Okay, you can get fake teeth, but depending on where you're from, in my country, that will cost you thousands and thousands and thousands of euros. So what's thousands of euros compared to, in total, around 60 or 70 euros. So if you learn nothing from the video, at least learn the importance of face protection, especially eye protection, but also mouth protection. It might seem silly, it might seem cumbersome, but trust me, down the road, you'll be thankful that you put in the effort for decent mouth or eye protection. If you don't believe me, just Google it if you're into that kind of thing, and you'll see the examples of what happens if you don't wear proper proper face protection. So wear proper face protection, wear it firstly, and secondly, make sure it's actually rated. So as I said, a lot of people buy like from AliExpress or some. Always make sure it does what it says it does, or otherwise you're just gambling, which seems silly. So buy a cheaper replica. I mean, like, you could save on something else, but don't save on that. That's the only thing you shouldn't save on. So sorry to blab on about face protection, but it is really important, even if it seems so silly. So that's pretty much all there is to say about NB Tactical for the moment. Hopefully I'll be able to provide more information as I either find out what I'm doing wrong or learn more about the product, or be able to provide you like, yeah, it's not working for me because, and so on. So I told you the stumbling blocks for me, I told you about the product, the variations. So that's pretty much it. If you have questions, suggestions about these or anything else you've seen, contact me either on YouTube or Instagram. Or if you like, you're probably doing it wrong because you did this, or you're probably doing it wrong because you're not doing that. That's always welcome. I'm always open for feedback. I'm just trying to learn as anyone else. So yeah, that's it. So thanks for watching. If you watched the video, And if you're a continued viewer, either on YouTube or Instagram, then I really thank you for your continued support. I really appreciate it. So have a nice day or evening, depending on where you're watching from, and take care. Bye-bye.